Okay, friends, we are going to be making some donuts now. We're going to talk about those colors that are next to each other on the color wheel called analogous colors. You are going to be getting your paint palette, your water cup, and a paintbrush to get started with. As with previous art painting projects, we're going to be making layers within our work. So after today, we will be doing another painting day. When you're done, you should get something that looks like this. So today we're going to add just the wash, and that's the first set of colors. And remember, our wash should be pretty light. So I've already got this donut done. I'm going to go into this donut now. And I'm going to add a little bit of water first to my paper inside that donut. And then I'm going to pick a color. And remember, you have to add a little water to the paint to get it to work. And I'm going to choose purple because it looks like I already kind of started that donut before. And I'm going to move in circles, outline the edge, and then fill it in. So notice how the color's really light. That's what we're going for. You're going to clean your brush and you're going to add another color on top of that, an art that's called mixing. So when you go to do this, you want to use that color wheel. Remember, this is the tool artists use when they're mixing colors. You want to make sure that when you're using the color wheel that we are using color neighbors. So if I just use purple, I have to pick a color that is next to purple on the color wheel. So if I'm looking at purple, I have blue or red I can use. Remember, we're only going to do a party of two. You don't want to do both. You're going to pick your favorite one out of those two. So I think I'm going to do a little red because I don't know, I'm just in the mood to try some red. Warm that purple up. So I'm going to go in now with my second color before my first dries, and I'm going to then blend that into my first color. I'm going around, I'm staying within the lines by going around in circular motions. I'm now going to clean my brush off. I'm going to do this again. So I'm going to go to the next donut, and let's see, maybe I want to do the yellow. By the way, friends, I'd like you to do your own colors. Please don't copy mine exactly. If there's some you like, you certainly can repeat, but I need to see that you're doing a different order of colors. So I'm going to go in with yellow. Oops, what did I forget to do? There's a step I forgot. Does anybody know? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to add some water first. So get your water down first before you add your color. That way we can get a nice wash, light color. All right, now I'm going to go in with that yellow. Pick a color that's next to yellow on the color wheel. Does anybody want to tell me what is next to yellow on the color wheel? Great. Okay, so I can do orange or green. I think I'm going to do green. Oh, that's a cool color, friends. All right, I'm going to do the next one. The next one's going to be a new set of analogous colors. Okay, friends, so you're now going to do the last two. You're going to do the last two donuts on yours. Each donut will have its own color blended, analogous colors. You can certainly repeat two colors that you really like, but I should see at least two different analogous color blends. If you're looking at mine, each donut is almost a different color. It makes it really interesting. It adds variety. So I'm going to finish those last donuts. Okay, friends, we're going to do one more step. We're going to do a little splatter paint on our donuts to make it look like there's some sprinkles that have fallen on our donut tray. So what you're going to do, you're going to want to use your brush and pick up a lot of that paint with some water. Hang out in that paint for a little bit. You're going to have your two fingers up, and then you're going to get very close to the paper, but not touching the paper with that brush. You're going to tap like this. The harder you tap, the bigger your splatters will look. This is called splatter paint. I'm moving around the page. I'm also trying not to get too push too hard on that brush, because if I splatter too hard, it's going to splatter all over the place. So you're going to pick up to two colors that you want to splatter to look like sprinkles or some kind of donut design. Okay, friends, we are now going to make some frosting. And how we're going to do this is by making tints of colors. How an artist makes tints of colors is they add white to a color to make it lighter. That's called a tint. You are going to use some white paint and then our paint palettes to do this. The first thing we're going to do is get some white paint on our brush, and just on the very inside edge we're going to add a layer of white. So I'm going to go around the inside edge, and if it's really see-through you can always add more than one layer. Okay, so I'm not being afraid to get somewhat thick to add a little texture to this paint because it is frosting, friends. So it's okay to get that paint on there pretty thick. I'm then going to clean my brush in some water, and I'm going to pick a color paint before that dries. So you're going to want to work kind of quick with this. Any color of your choice, you're going to dip your brush in that paint palette, and you're going to go around in circles and blend your paint right on your painting into that white that we just made on our donuts. So you'll notice that light white color lightens up our frosting. I'm now going to go in again and do the same thing. I'm going to get paint right on my brush, and we're doing remember, this is called a dry on dry. You don't have to wet the paper first. And I'm going to go in around the inside circle, not over the whole thing. Reminder, friends, you can get kind of thick with this white paint. Think about the artist, Wayne, and how he really had some thick looking paint to add some texture into that frosting. I'm going to clean my brush in water, pick a color of my choice, and right before that white dries, I'm going to go in and try to mix a little bit of a color into that white. Alright, friends, we're going to do that to all of your paintings. Remember, this is a wet on dry, which means you don't need the paper to be wet. You're just adding the paint right to that paper. If we were doing a wash, then we would do like we did last week, a wet on wet. All right, friends, have fun.